What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Pop Off the Clock Book Club edition.
Yes, we are reviewing the book for the month of June.
Yes.
I hope everyone joined along in this romantic comedy. It's literally called Romantic Comedy by Curtis Sittenfeld. It was an interesting book, an easy read, I believe.
Yeah,
300 pages.
not that many pages.
Yeah, 300 pages, big font.
Some pages just had like a sentence, so kind of just quickly went through it.
It is a novel. I'll hand this to you because you want to read the synopsis.
Yeah. Oh, you're good. I took it to the beach, so it's like water got all on it, and I don't know. All right, so yes, this is from Curtis Sittenfeld, and Sally Mills is a sketch writer for The Night Owls, a late-night live comedy show that airs every Saturday. With a couple of heartbreaks under her belt, she long abandoned the search for love, settling instead for the occasional hookup, career success, and a close relationship with her stepfather to round out a satisfying life. But when Sally's friend and fellow writer Danny Horst begins dating Annabelle, a glamorous actress who guest hosts the show, he joins a not-so-exclusive club of talented but average-looking and even dorky men on the show and in society at large who have gotten romantically involved with an incredibly beautiful and accomplished woman. Sally channels her annoyance into a sketch called The Danny Horst Rule, poking fun at this phenomenon while underscoring how unlikely it is that the reverse would ever happen for a woman. Enter Noah Brewster, a pop music sensation with a reputation for dating models who signed on to be a host and a music guest for this week's show. Dazzled by his charm, Sally hits it off with Noah instantly, and as they collaborate on one sketch after another, she begins to wonder if they might actually have sparks flying. But this isn't a romantic comedy, it's real life. In real life, someone like him could never date someone like her, right? Well, with her keen observations and trademark ability to bring complex women to life on page, Curtis Sittenfeld explores the neurosis-inducing and heart-fluttering wonder of love while slyly dissecting the social rituals of romance and gender relations in the modern age.
That sounds like a great book.
It sounds like a great book. The first page, I was like, wow, I feel like I'm going to really like this.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Really quickly, before we start sharing our opinions, sorry, that got really loud there. Let's give our, whoa. So I don't know what happened, but the camera started slowly vibrating. I saw it right here, and it was tripping me out. Okay.
We're good.
Okay. I don't know if my yelling, vibrated the camera, but Yos, what was your review, not your review, but your score 1 through 5?
Like a 3.2, and I think I'm being nice.
Okay. You are being nice
Yes.
because I feel like I'm always like, mine's going to be super nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving it a 2.
Because I think it was well written. I just don't think the arc of I wasn't fulfilled with the arc.
I wasn't fulfilled with, I had such
The
high
depthness?
hopes.
The
Yeah, it wasn't very deep, very shallow, superficial.
Yeah.
Which I'm not trying to be mean. This is a book review.
Yeah.
But I just felt like I didn't come out of this story. First of all, I didn't even remember her name. Where now when I read it, I was like, oh yeah,
Sally.
her name is Sally.
I'm like,
I don't feel like I knew anything about her. I didn't gain any knowledge on who Sally was.
I think she had the potential to be this complex woman because she went through a divorce in such a young age. She is in a male-dominated industry. She's good at her job. I think I would have liked her to be maybe a little better at her job.
Yeah.
So it at least gives her some kind of edge of it's she's so good at her job, but because her job is so niche and so unique that her love life and her insecurities of being feminine and a woman is what causes her. But she wasn't the greatest writer. She was an average girl.
She was literally the epitome of average.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
And I guess it's trying to target that, even an average person can date a celebrity, but it's
I'm right here.
I honestly don't understand how he was like, she's the one. Even when he was explaining the reasons, I'm like, how did she stand out? I don't get it.
Because they didn't only worked on that one sketch, and they
like,
kind of saw each other, and there wasn't that depth of a connection until they started emailing each other, right? Yeah. But it's just like, I want to know, like, and she also wasn't described a lot physically. So it's like, was this a monster? Was it this like...
So when she was like, I don't understand how he can date me. Like...
Yeah.
And
I'm like,
even when she's like, if you see a picture of everybody, would I stand out?
Dude, if that guy...
I like hurt my neck just like laughing right now.
So in this book, they're talking about, like, she says, I don't know why you would date me. You're a musician, so hot guy. Why would you date this average girl? And he's like, in this group picture of you and all your cast, like, would I pick you first visually? No. But after knowing your brain and everything, it all, which is fair, but it's like...
And she was like, that's the thing where you fall in love with somebody's brain. And I didn't know that was a thing, but... that made me wonder, like, what does this girl look like?
It kind of reminds me of that movie. It's an old movie with Barbara Streisand and Russell something, the Kate Hudson's stepdad. He's basically this professor who is going off tangent, but he's a professor, very good looking professor. Now, only because he's good looking and he's only attracted to hot models, he like only dates them, but he's so not fulfilled with them mentally because they're dumb. So he puts an ad on the article just looking for someone to have a conversation with. Like, I want to be in a relationship with you, but I just want to have, like, I don't want to be physically attracted to you because that automatically makes me think that you're going to be dumb, and that doesn't, excite me.
Yeah.
So Barbara Streisand's sister sees this article and she feels bad for her and sets her up. Submits her. And then he goes on a date with her, and they are like the perfect match. And it's like, it makes it out to be that Barbara Streisand is some monster that he has to put up with, but because she's so smart and like intellectually like there, he falls in love with her brain. It's like it's just
so that's what this was kind of.
It's just and it's also it's, and
he is a musician, and obviously we've all seen musicians that host Saturday Night Live, because obviously
it's based off of
Saturday Night Live. But I'm curious as to what age he is and how that compares to an artist. Maybe is he like a John Mayer? Like,
yes,
what is his popularity?
And they all said like we're in our mid-30s.
Yeah, and he...
Oh yeah, I think John Mayer maybe, or like...
Because sometimes they would kind of make him seem like he wasn't even that attractive, or like a... I don't know. They would just... The way they describe him, he had like long hair, and he like...
His face was like blue eyes, great hair, and like a toned body, but nothing like sharp jawline, all-American, classic beauty, exotic beauty. Like, I don't know what it was. So you give it a 2. So what just killed it for you?
I think that like we got to the point at the end of the book. It took like, and it was just not the style of writing, but the style of how it was presented. Like in the first, it was in parts. So it's part 1, part 2, part 3. Mm-hmm. So part 1, it's like you see basically
her life,
hour by hour, her life in this process of making the show, which seemed interesting. And then it goes into a section all about emails. And then at the end, they get together, everything happens, and that it's end. Mm-hmm. It just felt so rushed.
Yeah. For me, a good book is like this and then the end, right? Yeah. It's like... story, the peaks, whereas the twist, the conflict, like I said, the conflict or the twist, and then the resolution, and then a good ending.
Yeah.
Like, I always think about how in a good movie, like 75% in it's where it's the peak, because the last 25, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the air turned off.
Yeah, the last 25% of it is like where everything kind of is tied in a bow, and I just felt it was like, okay, where is the resolution? Like, where is the...
It was just like flatlining.
There was tension and like an issue, but it was just like, that's it. Like, That's it?
How dare you think of me and listen to everything I've told you. I told you I no longer want to work there. So you make me an office so I can be a screenwriter near Hollywood? How dare you?
Like, it was just so full of... It was, like, realistic, but not realistic. I feel like your average person, yeah, maybe they don't have, like, some drama in their life, some big, you know, novela, like, dramatic life. So maybe that is as basic as their life gets. But then we're also thinking, this is a celebrity. Like, their life isn't going to be basic. It was just so, like, oh, that's it? Like... I read 300 pages. I was in page 120, and I was just like, are they gonna...
It's like snappy at the end. Like, they had the issue, the conflict that felt like...
Was it a conflict? Pages? Because it was very one-sided. So the whole conflict was that she visits him in person and is questioning, like, why would a celebrity date an average girl? And she does express that she's like, I don't know, like, are you embarrassed to see him with me? Like, this and this and this.
Because they're caught, so it's during so I like the relevancy of the time period. So they are in the pandemic, so he goes out, they go to the park, they're holding hands, and then paparazzi, you know, those typical shots of them. And he drops her hand instantly, so she starts freaking out, thinking like,
you're embarrassed to see me with me.
Yeah, and that starts this whole
thing,
conflict.
And she's just like, I don't know if we should be together. And he's so understanding the whole time, and it only lasts like a day or two. And then he goes helps her because her stepdad gets sick with COVID. Yeah, and it's like, oh, he is a normal person, how he has been telling you this whole time. Like, there was no deception from him. It was just
she wanted to find something wrong with it.
Yeah, and it was her own insecurities getting in her way. And I think that's so relatable. Yeah. But I think I wanted more into it. Like, what happened in her marriage?
Yes, we only found out for 5 seconds that
what happened with that coworker situation. Yeah, that she was in love.
Curtis or whatever.
No, Elliot.
Oh, Elliot. My bad.
Like, he was just like, no. Like, how?
I feel like we don't know anything about her. Like, I don't know who this person is.
And I think she's smart and witty, but how did we develop this character? Like, and how does this interaction with Noah is developing her character? Like, you know, when you see a good show and you're like, that character had such a great arc and growth.
No character development.
No character development in 300 pages.
I feel like I understood more about who Noah was than I ever did about who Sally was. And even with, like, her friends, her family, I don't even remember what happened to her mom.
Did she have cancer?
Oh, I think, I don't know.
I don't remember. I think so.
But, like, nothing, like, you know, because of that impacted me in this way. Like, you don't know anything about her, period. Or even her hookups. I mean, not that you have to know, but, like, it just felt very surface level.
Very surface
Like, I just wanted to take advantage of... Because it is based off of SNL, but I think they found the punch with Pete Davidson, you know, Colin Jost, with the celebrities they are. That's such a good thing to base off a story of, but that was it.
It's because she set up the whole SNL thing, so it was very well set up. Like, I felt like I was working on SNL like show in the beginning, but then it's like it had no relevancy towards the end. It's like, why did you take me from your day-to-day
life
skit writing, which, by the way, some of those skits were not funny, and like, none of the skits that they were pitching, and I was just like, this is like SNL. Like, SNL is like, sometimes I'm like, is this not my sense of humor? Like, I don't get some of this stuff.
But then again, like, the author wrote the jokes, so maybe you should have collabed with somebody.
They were very SNL. So, okay, let's get into these questions. The novel features an SNL like sketch show. Do you watch SNL, and what did you think about the parts dedicated to making the show? Which I said, I thought it was cool in the beginning how she's like it, and I do believe they're accurate because the author at the end of the book kind of goes over like all these other books that she read. So I think that we truly went through a week of what a writer experiences, and how I also don't think that she spent enough time with Noah as the celebrity host of the week to be like, was she attracted to him? Absolutely. Was he good looking? I just like all you guys did was sit down next to each other and write one sketch and you edited, and he kind of thought like, oh, she's cool. But there was no like one-on-one time. There was like, I think the one-on-one time was at the after
And
party.
she ruined
it by being like, I also think like, dude, like,
You always self-sabotage.
and it's true. I don't blame her for that. I think it's very realistic where you just like beat someone to the self-sabotage before it
Yeah.
just goes. But it was like,
But he also like overreacted.
100%. I was just like,
She was like, yeah, just go with your models. Like, how dare you?
and then the headpiece, the wig.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to know more about that. Like, he kind of brought it up at the end. Like, I would wear more, more hair extensions. But, like, why?
But then that also, I think that even like supports her theory of him being so good looking and her not being good looking, because he does have some level of vanity. Like, he would wear headpieces for his hair to be fuller because he cared what people look like. Now, was there an arc when he said he got COVID and he felt like, was there a change in him? Absolutely. Like, but where was her change?
Yeah.
Do you think her change was when her stepdad got sick? But
I
it was
think
already, that was like 30
so,
pages
but, like,
at the end.
I don't think she ever changed. I really don't feel like she did.
She just accepted.
I think she changed her mind about him.
Yeah.
Like, I think it really took him helping her with her dad. Seeing him do something normal.
Like, he had to go down to her level for her to believe him. And I don't mean like level, like, oh, like just do normal activity.
Yeah.
Like, you were worried that he wasn't normal enough. Like, what? Like, you have
I'll
your
take your spot.
But it's just like you're also surrounded by your best friends who are cast members on TV. You're also going to tell me that you're not around this type of industry and lifestyle. It's not like you're some girl that got picked from some.
Like, he didn't pick you out at like a mini mart and like be like, hey, I want to date you.
You were an SNL writer
Yeah.
who is surrounded by celebrities and your friends are celebrities.
Remember when Ben Affleck dated the talent scout for SNL? Like, they have beautiful people that work there.
Yeah.
No lie. I mean, Emma Stone is married to one of the writers.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, she's married to one of the writers. So
Yeah, it was
it's
just
like not implausible for it to happen. And I guess that's when this whole Danny Horst thing.
But the thing is, the SNL setup was so much of the show.
Yeah.
That I was just like, and I got it because it set up the whole, this is why they met. But it was just like, you set up this whole situation 50% of the book for me just to make the connection that this is how they met. That could have been 2 pages. Or, well, you know what I mean. It could have been a couple pages.
It's because the way he looked at her when he started singing.
Yeah, he's just like, he was like, was I singing at you? Yes, but I wasn't trying to seduce you. Okay, what was your overall impression of Sally? Why was comedy writing the right path for her?
I don't even know.
It was interesting about like when she finally opened up about her marriage and how she said that she would apply to be a writer on this place. But it's also like, you're that great of a writer where you just kind of have no experience in comedy writing and you submit and then finally get called.
I don't remember. Did she ever say anything like, I would watch comedy movies all the time when I was a kid and no, it was just like, I want to be a writer.
Yeah, like
at the Night Owls.
Yeah, I just don't like. I was a lot of people are comedians. Like, I think I would have believed it more if she was just like, oh, like I wrote a secret blog in college and it was just comedy, or she was just like an editor in her college newspaper. And then she became a writer for like a medical company.
Yeah, medical thing.
And then she would submit stuff to TNO, and then TNO was like, oh, keep writing. And she submitted for like 5 years, and then they're like, start now. And I'm like, where did the comedy genes come? Like,
yeah.
And then I do agree with her decision about her husband. Like,
if he doesn't support you, then what's the point?
I think the point and it's not even a support, but he didn't believe in her.
Yeah.
He was just like, she got the job offer at TNO, and then he was just like, yeah, we're not going. He's like, but then why did you let me submit? He's like, because I never thought they'd pick you. I'd be like, that's so heartbreaking.
Yeah. Like, divorce right now.
Divorce. So I guess, was it the right, I don't know.
What's your overall impression of Sally?
Basic. Average.
Average. She's very average. She got lucky. She got lucky.
I think even below average, to be honest with you.
She just has no personality.
It's also like you work on an SNL show. How you shouldn't be average.
Yeah.
But yet she was so average, and that was like...
I wouldn't even pick her out in a photo.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, next question. What compelled her to write the Danny Hortz rule? What message was she trying to convey? Do you agree with her viewpoints? I do. I do believe that is true. I believe great-looking women date below their standards.
Because women identify more than just looks, whereas men, like, that's the obvious.
And when have you ever seen, like, a good-looking man be, like, dating your average girl? The closest thing I could think of, which she wasn't even ugly or basic, was when Henry Cavill came out with his girlfriend, and people were like, that's her. She's so average. She was a gorgeous girl. She just wasn't famous.
Yeah.
But she was still gorgeous, and people were very much like, oh, she's so average.
They still get gorgeous girls. So, like, another example could be, but she's also gorgeous, is Matt Damon's wife. She's, like, a jewelry designer, and also Tobey Maguire's wife.
But Matt Damon's not. But they're not good-looking guys. They're, like... What makes them good looking is that they're famous.
Yeah, true.
They're not like a Chris Evans, Henry Cavill, a Mark Wahlberg.
Or Hugh Jackman.
Oh.
Have you seen his wife?
Yes, but I just think she aged bad.
Okay.
I think she was good looking when they were younger. That's one example.
But like,
I know, but it's very rare, and it gets pointed out more. Like Pete Davidson, how many times has he dated way above his visually, right?
Yeah.
And I think it does. I think it does interpret that a girl does. You know, not that they're kinder, but they're
see past the veil of the hooded veil. I don't even know what that expression is, but
so I think they were accurate on that, and I think
it was smart to take the bait. I mean, I would have been curious to have seen the skit because the way it was written did not sound good. But like, I know, like with SNL, Colin Jost, like on the night, what do they call like the news section of it? Weekend Update. They would always make fun of Pete Davidson over his relationship.
But so even Colin is not bad looking.
Oh no, Colin is gorgeous. So I'm like, that is not.
I have a story about him, so just pin it.
Really?
Like a personal story about him.
Oh, okay.
Pin it. It doesn't. It's not about me, so I can't like. If it was about me, I share it to you guys, but I can't.
Okay. I'm gonna pin it for later.
So, but
we agree.
I agree with it. Okay, let's talk about the first meeting between Sally and Noah. What were your main takeaways? I thought like he was actively trying not to be a douchey musician and was very respectful. Like, I don't mean, was he like witty and charming? But I didn't think he was hitting on her because he was very like, I want to be taken seriously.
I feel like from her, obviously, because this is from her point of view, she was very like, I feel like she was more not rude, but not as welcoming. And then when he explains later his point of view of their interaction, he was like, I know you kept saying that you're mean, but you're always the nicest to me. But I guess the way it was written, it makes it seem like...
Maybe this book would have been better if it was like his point of view and her point of view at the same time.
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
Right? Yeah.
That would have been better.
What made him call her up? Like, send that email 2 or 3 years later.
Yeah. Like, I just started thinking about this random girl that worked on...
Who told me that I only date one that pissed me off. Yeah. So after Noah's episode, the cast and crew go out to celebrate. Sally and Noah talk, have an easy rapport. I don't know, which panics Sally, and she becomes a bit mean and pushes him away. This happens a couple times throughout the novel. What do you think Sally acted this way, Noah? And was she afraid of? She was just insecurity.
Oh, yeah.
It's just insecurity. I feel everyone has it.
I'm insecure, too, yeah. But, okay, I'm insecure. And I understand, like, especially the portion where she started over-examining the photos and all the comments were like, how is this guy dating her? Blah, 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 blah. I can totally understand that headspace. But you are with this guy regardless. Like, I don't know. I would be having fun. I would stay in the beginning of their relationship and not really...
Yeah, I thought the email part was so fun and it was cute.
It was cute.
But I also do think that...
Can I mention the theory that I told you that I had of the book midway? So during the email portion, I thought the twist was going to be that the emails weren't coming from Noah, and it was coming from like somebody in the office pretending to be him that had a crush on her. So I was relieved for her when it ended up being accurate. Because I think obviously the conversations that they knew they had with each other only, when they started bringing that up, I was like, okay, then my theory can possibly not. But I think my theory would have been a nice spice up of the book. I don't know.
I think it's a great
twist.
Okay, would they have reconnected if not for the pandemic?
No, and I'm actually glad this is one of the topics, because I was going to say, I think it would be so different if the pandemic didn't happen, because he was still going on tours and doing all these things. Like, he would have been distracted.
Yeah, he would never had that moment of pause and think and reevaluate life. And having COVID himself, he's like, I really thought I was never going to sing and all that stuff. And it made him reevaluate everything. So, yeah, I agree. I don't think it would have...
Which makes you think, like, did they intentionally set the time period during the pandemic to make it so that that's the only way they could have ever connected?
A plausible reason why someone with such hectic lives would have to be forced to...
Yeah. So it wouldn't have never worked in any other kind of setting.
I don't think so either. So ignoring her fear of rejection, Sally decides to take Noah up on his offer and come visit him in LA. Let's discuss the first in-person reunion since the show. Guys, I was so cringing. Like, I have been in that time. Like, when you're going to meet someone for the first time and you're just, like, making sure everything is right. Like,
when she, like, goes to the bathroom.
Like, I think I've been, like, on dates where you meet them online and then you like dating apps, and you're gonna meet them for the first time and you're just kind of like, oh my god, like, I hope I'm not sweating. Have you ever been on I think that's the closest we
kind of
like in the past, not right now.
Have I been? Oh no!
Like, have you ever experienced that where you only talk to someone?
Yeah,
like, and then
yeah, I have. It wasn't like a random person I'd never known. It was somebody I had met briefly. Then we spoke again online, and then we met later.
Yeah.
And I was nervous because it had been a long time since we had last seen each other in person.
Yeah, and you just don't know what to do. So I thought that was like the most relatable thing, where she's just like, is he gonna kiss me? Like, we've connected on email so intellectually and openly.
She was like, I can stay at a hotel. I was like, girl, why are you doing this to yourself?
Okay, let me tell you. I think I would be that girl for a hot second, but when she says I could stay in a hotel, and he says, oh, like, you could, stay in the guest rooms if you feel uncomfortable, I'd be like, no, I don't want to make you feel I think I would have been very
I don't want
open.
to impose.
I don't want to impose. Like, I'm down to do whatever you want to do, but if you need me to stay in a hotel, like, I would not be okay. I think it was just like, and it's so funny how for her it was like, I was giving you out. He's like, well, I thought you didn't want to be here. Okay, I don't know if it's a question or not, but when he's like, I'll send the private jet for you to pick you up.
The PJ.
Would you have opted to drive like she did?
No, I would have taken it. Take me on the PJ. I'm down. Sorry, that's a Vanderpump reference, but 1,000%. Like, I'm not gonna be driving for I don't know how many hours. She was going from Kentucky all the way to California.
Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh, Kansas City. Still, that's pretty far. Kansas City to California.
It was like a day and a half.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I would have
fire up that jet.
Fire up. Despite public perception and even their own initial hesitation, what is behind Sally and Noah is a strong connection. What is behind Sally and Noah's strong connection? What do they bring out in each other? I do think they bring out the best in each other. I don't know. I think it's like start point was this awkwardness, end point is like, oh, they really do are a good match. It's just the writing in the book and the book story. I was just like, but how did we get there so quick? Maybe it's I wouldn't even question it if it's like, well, they're both in their mid-30s. Like, they just know what they want. Yeah. But that wasn't really the setup.
I feel like they were very, not gentle with each other, but they were on the same page.
I think I like that. I think they were gentle with each other.
Yeah.
And understanding. And they, because aside from him being a musician, he's like, I came from a rich family. You could have easily
He
been
was,
like,
I feel like, more understanding than her.
or self-aware. I think he was very self-aware in his situation. Like, you know, he was in his 20s and doing like crazy stuff, and then like, you know, big events for him in his life happen. See, that's another thing, we know so much about him.
Exactly.
Like,
it should have just been from Noah's perspective.
Eventually, Sally decides to leave the show behind and marry Noah. She also starts her screenwriting career. Let's discuss her love story overall. Do you feel they are a good match? Do you like the ending?
I felt like they were a good match. I think that she was definitely overthinking it. I didn't think that he was ever gonna be like, oh, that's a deal breaker for me that you're so insecure. I think he just like wanted her to identify the fact that she is insecure, and she needs to not get over it, but realize that he's going to be there with her regardless of it.
Yeah, I agree.
So I was never scared that it was like, oh, it's a make it or break it moment. I think that she was just like, you need a second to relax.
And honestly, the author didn't set up anything to come and like knock them over. It's not like he had a side girl or was fresh out of a relationship. There was nothing that would pull him away from being patient with him. You know what I mean?
There was nothing that would pull both of them away. It was just her insecurity that was impacting her.
And it wasn't that much. I feel like her insecurities were fair. Like, when she would like get them, like, oh, I think they were fair reasonings, but it was just her not being able to not spiral into them. That kind of was just like, calm down, girl. But
I think that when she came to the realization that he is going to be there for her, and that obvious example was with helping her stepdad.
Yeah.
It was just like, okay, now we're cool. Let's just keep living our lives.
That's so weird. Would you leave, like, quit your job and just...
Heck yeah.
Yeah. But what if you guys break up in like 3 months?
Well, she started screenwriting.
But that doesn't pay the bills unless you're selling it.
Oh, well.
And I think... I do like the ending where it's just like, oh, her what is it? Her script got picked up and her friends are starring in it.
I thought that was
cute. And it kind of is funny because I think that happens a lot in SNL.
That's true.
Like the writers write for cast members, and then that guy Lawrence Michaels does produce some of like people's stuff.
Well, was that guy? He was still a producer though, right? Nigel. Okay, so I think that I think she underestimated how valued she was at TNO. I think that Nigel did like her, and I think Nigel did want her around, and he was very accepting of her leaving. So I think that if it didn't work out, they would have still welcomed her back. But it's like, obviously, she didn't even want to be there anymore. She said so herself. She didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
It's like taking a leap. It's just basically taking a leap.
So who would you cast for the leads if they make this film or TV adaptation?
I just want to understand how they picture Sally being, because in her own mind,
do you think it's like a Tina Fey looking? Because
Maybe.
Tina Fey is not ugly, but
no, yeah.
Even okay, I'm sorry, but have you seen Amy Poehler pictures? Like, she's gorgeous. So
Amy Poehler was gorgeous, especially on SNL when she was like younger. Her and Tina were gorgeous. All of them were gorgeous.
So I just don't know who like.
See, obviously they're not going to make an average person the main lead. Hollywood never does that.
Who did you picture in Noah? Like when you were reading?
Oh,
I pictured this guy I used to date when I was like in my early 20s.
That's why I couldn't really picture Noah. I pictured him as a guy that was trying to look young. Kind of. It's because you haven't seen Sex and the City, because one of the guys Samantha dates for a long time. I kind of pictured him because he's age appropriate. He's blonde. I can see him with the buzz cut. Look, let me find him for you.
Yeah, I don't know who I would pick. I think I kind of picture, it was very much giving me like Keith Urban vibes, but younger. Like that kind of good looking hair, but like a t-shirt and jeans and a guitar.
Yeah.
Right? Like Keith Urban, but younger?
I think somebody a little bit more edgy.
Oh, really?
Because
I was going very like...
Were you thinking more country? I was thinking more pop.
I was thinking more like Bruce Springsteen. Was it Bruce Springsteen?
Bruce Springsteen.
Like when he's younger?
Okay. What's this guy's name? I forget his name. But this guy on the corner right here.
Oh, okay.
I was picturing that kind of.
That's really good looking.
Yeah, but he doesn't look like this anymore. He's like way older now.
I know yeah. Wasn't he on Dancing with the Stars? No.
Yes, he was.
Okay.
It was this season. Yeah, he was on Dancing with the Stars this past season. I forgot his name. I just put Samantha Jones's boyfriend young, and I can't seem to... Yes.
Okay, Bruce Springsteen was not attractive younger, but I'm talking his style.
Okay.
Like the vibe of him was like...
So, yeah, so this kind of guy. Yeah, I pictured
Or maybe
this.
he was good looking. Oh, see, I pictured like this.
Okay.
Like the style.
So I see style and then face.
Yeah,
but like if it was at this age and time,
because you have to think about that. He's in his mid-30s, so he has a good enough career where it's like, oh, he is a musician. Like he's not some pretty boy singing, but he also has to be very attractive for it to be like, oh, like how could he date this monster?
Ever date me? Okay, so for Sally. So obviously they're not going to go with a super, super basic looking person. So I'm thinking not that she's basic, but kind of a Zoe Deutsch kind of. Oh, wait, no, she's more in her 20s.
She's too pretty. But I do get that she is.
But look at what they did with Blake Lively for This Is Us.
Maybe the one that looks like Zoe that was in White Lotus.
Which season?
This one. Portia.
Oh, Portia. Okay.
She's cute, but everything she's been in, she's like
kind of like exactly that kind of vibe of actress that has been in movies like that plays. I can see. Yeah.
You know who? What's her name? She was in Maid. She's been a child actress.
Maid?
She was in what's she been recently? She was in Arrested Development for like a little bit.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. I know. I could.
The blonde chick.
No, the curly haired girl.
Hold on. What is? She was in a show with her. State of.
Let me see.
What is? Okay, the girl that put in Duff.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. She has that show with the three housewives. Look, so from Arrested Development, I kind of do think Ally Shawkat could be.
I even think she's too exotic looking. That makes her gorgeous.
She is in no way average.
Like maybe this.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
She's still pretty, but it's not like maybe if you frump her up a little. Like, yeah, it's like
okay, yeah, I feel that.
Something like that. Something, or like I don't know, like Beanie. What's her name? Beanie
Vandersteen or something. Like
that. Her maybe. I don't know. I
have no idea.
I can't think of any. But every celebrity's like gorgeous, so I can't really.
But if they do make it into a film, can you just please change some things up?
Yeah, I need a twist in there.
Yeah, maybe we should write the screenplay because that would be... Or maybe Sally could... No, actually, no. Maybe Sally, you shouldn't write it. But yeah, those are our thoughts on our book of June for the romantic
I think if you just
comedy.
want to... Okay, if you want a quick read, this is it.
Oh, yeah.
If you want just a cute love story that kind of just is very, like, straight to the point.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of, like... drama. It's just like you just see two people fall in love and a little turbulence and that's it. Like that's it. It's just like your basic story. It was more romantic
than romantic.
I felt like
comedy.
For me it was just kind of like this is not what I look for in a book. I think that if I'm gonna read a book and take my time to read a book, I want a twist. I want something that's gonna like, did you see that? Like,
and speaking of,
yeah.
Our book of July, folks. Our book of July is going to be The Maid by Nita Prose. And fun fact, which we learned from the internet, this does have a project attached to it. Miss Florence Pugh is set to produce and star in a version of an adaptation. They haven't said if it's going to be film or TV, probably film. But yeah, I read... So I hate to say this because I read that first page and I was like, this book's going to be good. But I read the preface. Mm-hmm. Is that what it's called? And it got me, like, the way that they tied certain things together. I was like, I'm interested.
Okay,
It's a whodunit.
Whodunit, I love that. I don't think I've read a whodunit in a while.
Yeah.
I don't really like to read
We haven't done mystery.
No, we haven't, because I don't think I typically reach for that in my personal
Really,
reads.
I
because
love mystery.
now in my life, I only have time to read at night, and I just can't deal with the adrenaline at night. So
you shouldn't read Verity.
Yeah, I need to.
Yeah.
Maybe on the weekends in the morning.
And this is a good
question. How many pages?
Okay. It is. Oh, it already has the book club questions.
Oh, nice.
It is. Okay, that's acknowledgments. Actually, it's less than. It's 285 pages.
Oh, that's like a.
But I'm curious, is it because of the font?
Let me see the font.
The font is this big.
It's a little small.
Yeah.
Makes me.
But I saw how it's. So I guess it's happening maybe within a week because it has like Monday, Tuesday.
Okay.
And then like chapters within that. But yeah.
I'm excited for that one.
The Maid.
Perfect.
Yay. Well, I'm glad we're already 6 books.
Yeah, this is book
down.
6.
6 books down.
7.
We are very literate.
Yes, we're literate girls.
Yay.
We love that for us.
Well, guys,
it's never late to join our book club again.
It really isn't.
Look up the videos that we have with our book club. If you're interested in one of the books, read it and then just watch the video. It's very simple to,
not very complicated.
Yeah, you can either go back, start from what we already read, or just join us this month for the month of July, The Maid. And we will see you back here in a month for this specific book club recaps. Just if you're on our YouTube or website, click on the other videos. Check out everything else we see and follow us on Instagram, please.
Like and subscribe. Bye.